started. Come on. Woo! Hello, and welcome to another episode of
Good News, everyone!
Show about helping us all stay sane while we have to stay at home. A quick update from the Instagram account Juniper Fox, which I believe was one of the first ones I recommended. Fig, one of her younger brothers, turned 3 the other day, and it was adorable. And Frank Tao, one of the authors I recommended a while back, has released a new book. I don't remember the name of it, it isn't in my notes, but the picture will be on the screen about now. So, that one. I wasn't kidding when I said he releases books often. Today's Instagram account recommendation is Super Scooty. Scooty is a rescue dog who is disabled. She has a wheelchair, but she can also ambulate without it. And she is also the happiest dog I have ever seen, ever. And she is adorable. So please go and check her out. She's so cute. Today's Twitter account recommendation is TMNT Wiki articles. Don't worry, I will explain. Basically, it is a Twitter account that posts, I'm actually not sure how often, but it posts Wikipedia article titles that scan so that you can sing them along to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme. I'm not going to attempt it, but I'm posting a few examples on screen right now. Today's live cam recommendation has been culled from that long list of British places that sound made up but aren't, the Strumblehead Lighthouse, which is really just fun to say. Today's YouTube account recommendation is Steve1989 MRE Info. This is a chap who seems quite determined to give himself botulism poisoning. Basically, he tests out MREs that are lesser known or rare or foreign, but he also finds really old ones and eats those too, and I'm genuinely surprised he hasn't done himself some serious damage. But it is very interesting, so I recommend it. One of his latest videos, one of the ones he tested was from 1906, I think. So, yeah, check it out before it's too late. Today's book recommendation is a book by Bill Bryson, a travel writer who grew up in America, but then moved to England when he was older and has now, I believe, gone back to America, so he has an interesting perspective on both countries. The particular book I'm recommending is Notes from a Small Island. It's written about the first time he came to England and his adventures as a young American in England. It's very funny. He is a very funny writer, and as a Brit, I very much enjoyed it. So, for a lighter look at things in this country, give it a look. Today's series recommendation is What We Do in the Shadows. A comedy TV series from one of the Flight of the Conchords stars. It's about 3 vampires who basically just have to deal with modern life in New York. Now, I haven't watched it. It is on my list and I can't wait to watch it because it looks hilarious. So yes, I will update you, I suppose, when I've watched it. Today's podcast recommendation is SIDEWALK Slam, brought to you by Adam from the Road Quest series I recommended the other day, and Graham, who was also in Road Quest, but not on camera. He was one of the crew. And basically, it is a podcast about WWE wrestling. And I very, very much recommend it. And I say this to someone who does not watch wrestling. It's great. They've just done one on WrestleMania 2020, which was an absolute just weird thing to see. And this podcast, the latest one, is about 3 hours long, but it's so worth it. So if you don't fancy watching wrestling, but appreciate the pageantry of it all, I very much recommend SIDEWALK Slam. It's really good. In today's uplifting news, the author of The Gruffalo and The Gruffalo's Child, and various other Gruffalo-related literature. No one in my house is under, 30, so... this author has written a free downloadable book, and I have included the link below, on how to explain the current ongoing situation to children. and it's adorable. So if anyone is still struggling with how to explain this to their kids, or you are child adjacent and want to know these things, or just like the art of the Gruffalo, go and download it. Today on Stuff to Do, if you have an Instagram account, I highly recommend Googling Instagram story templates. Basically what that is you've probably seen them, you download it, it's like movies you've seen, there's like checklists of things like that, and there's GIF ones where you can post like the latest food you had and you have to find GIFs to go with it. It's a fun way of passing the time and also getting to know people, because what you can then do is post the blank one and get other people to post it so you can find out what their favourite movies or foods are or things like that. Today's Stuff to Do for kids is a scavenger hunt. Again, I don't have a specific link for you, but there are so many on Google that you can do at home, obviously. But basically, scavenger hunt, you give someone a list of stuff to scavenge, and give them an amount of time to scavenge said things. They bring them back. First one to do it gets a prize. Basically, that's what you do. Alright, and that is it for today's good news. I hope you are all well and that you had a good weekend. I'm fresh off the Westworld finale, so I'm a little... and I will be back on Wednesday with more of this. Interesting fact I learned today. Towels are the leading cause of dry skin.